Hey guys, so we're gonna do Bootstrap today. So before we even start to code in Bootstrap, let's talk about what Bootstrap is. So you guys did CSS the past few weeks. So what Bootstrap is basically a framework. It's kinda so it's basically a bunch of pre-written code that you can use. So so when you use Bootstrap, you don't really have to start from scratch. So what you do is just you use the pre-written code as a starting point and then build on that pre-written code. So this makes things like much simpler for you. You don't need to write everything from scratch. So people use Bootstrap. So Bootstrap has its own style and stuff. So it basically makes things pretty. So it gives you like a starting point to like style your website. It also like makes a lot of like functionalities easier, like resizing and stuff. So let's just get into it. So first you want to go to the Bootstrap website. So you just go to Bootstrap and here we go. So so as I said, Bootstrap is kind of like a CSS file. They have JavaScript in it too for like making dynamic websites. But for now, let's just work with the CSS. So there's two ways you can link the Bootstrap to your HTML file. So I have a HTML file here, index.html. So the first way is to download it. So this will basically just download a file, and then you want to unzip this. Hmm. How do you even? Oh, okay. Uh, how do you drag this? I'm just gonna copy it. Okay, so I just paste it. Yep. So basically, just paste it in your directory. So my index HTML is in the LikeLion directory. So I paste the Bootstrap folder here. Okay, so once you paste it, you can basically just link it like a basic CSS file. So here's how it's gonna look like. I'm just gonna do the basic doc type stuff. So HTML, the basic tags, head and a body. So to link the Bootstrap, now you see like you have this Bootstrap folder here. So it contains both CSS and JavaScript. So if you go to CSS, there's a bunch of stuff. You don't really need to know what all of these are. You just need to know that you're gonna use this one, the min, Bootstrap min. So I'll explain that later. For now, let's just try to link it. So relation is style sheet. Uh, type text CSS and href. So now the href, since the CSS file is within this folder, you first gotta go to the folder itself. So Bootstrap and CSS, and then we will choose this min.css. So the difference between the minimized version and the normal version is that if you look at the normal version, it kind of looks like this. So it's just like a CSS file with a bunch of pre-written styles. So, but like if you look at the min version, the minimized version, it kind of looks like this. So it's basically the same thing, but the difference is there is like white space here, like the spaces. This one there has no white space. So since there is no white space, you can't really read it, but this makes the file size much smaller. So this min version will load much faster than the normal version, and that will like help making the loading faster basically. So it loads the CSS file faster. So it's just nicer to use this one. Okay, I'm gonna close this. You don't really need to know it. So okay, I saved this. So let's take a look. So I told you like Bootstrap is basically like a bunch of pre-written styles. So let's take a look how it's gonna look like. So if I type out hello world and let's comment this out. Oops, 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 oops. Okay. Yep. So I print out hello world here. If I look at how this looks like, it looks like this. So it's just like a hello world over here. But if I uncomment this, so now I use the Bootstrap style. If I refresh this font's kind of changed. So it looks kind of prettier here, more modern. It's not like the Times New Roman style. So it comes with a bunch of pre-written styles. So this also applies. It's not the same style, but basically Bootstrap has its own style for like list and like maybe like all other stuff like for the different elements and the headings. So yeah, so this basically what Bootstrap is. So the second way you can link Bootstrap, yeah, I told you there's two ways, is just to copy the link. So just copy this. Uh, let's see. Yep, I think you can just copy this here. And link it down here. So, wait a minute. Okay, so here we go. So we link it through the link. I'm gonna save this. If I look at my Bootstrap again, it's still gonna have the same style. So even though I commented out the original link. So these are the two ways you can link it. So the reason why you might want to download it and use it locally instead of just linking from the website is like, I don't know, maybe sometimes like the link will have some problems or like, so it is much safer to like link it locally. That's how I normally do it, but some people prefer to just link it like from the link itself in Bootstrap, and that's fine too. So yep, so that is basically what Bootstrap is. So there's a lot of Bootstrap features that makes things much easier. So I told you like it is easier to like segment the website. So how Bootstrap works in like helping you separate like the website is that you see the whole screen right now is like 100%, right? So in Bootstrap, Bootstrap calls it like it has a total is size 12. So 12 is the total width from here to here. So it's basically Bootstrap treats the whole web page like a table. So it's like they have rows and columns. So basically, if you declare one row, so this whole website will be your whole row. And then within that row, you can have columns. So let's say you want to have like a paragraph here and a paragraph here. You want it to be like two different paragraphs at each side of the page. So if you declare two rows here, I mean one row and two columns, that will like give you two spaces for your paragraphs. So same thing like if you want like three paragraphs, like one, two, three, you can just declare three columns and like one row. So same thing if you want top and bottom, you can declare two rows and like maybe one column each, or if you want two here and one here, it's kind of you can declare like two columns and like one row. But it's kind of messy. I'll just show you how it looks like. So I'm gonna do so under this. So first of all, you gotta wanna declare a row, right? So you just gotta put a div with a class of row. So you didn't declare the class yet, but you can still use the class row because this class is already inside the Bootstrap CSS. So you can just use it right away. So within this row, you can have columns. So now let's say I want to make this two paragraphs here, right, under the hello world. So maybe one paragraph here, another paragraph here. So instead of using all those display properties, what you can do is just declare a column. So I told you like the whole width is 12, size 12. So if you want two paragraphs, you can do each paragraph to be size 6 because like 6 plus 6 is 12, and that like makes up the whole width. So column MD6, this is the class. So basically this means it's column for a medium-sized browser, and like the size is 6. So inside here, let's like put some random words. Once again, I'm gonna use like lorem ipsum. And I'm just gonna copy some random words here. So, okay, save this. And then I'm gonna copy this one more time. Okay, so now within this row, so this is first row. Okay, so this thing. So this is how it's gonna look like. See, now we have 2 paragraphs right here. So this is if you set the column to size 6. So same thing, if you want 3 paragraphs side by side, you can copy this, paste it again, and just resize it to 4. Because 12 divided by 3 is 4, so you want each to span 4, size 4. So refresh this. Yep, now it looks like 3. It formats it so that it is equal size. So this is like a really easy way to like format your website basically. So let's say like you have 3 here, right? Now you want another one at the bottom. So we want a bunch of random words with like just without being separated into 3. So you can just do another row. So this is our second row. Okay, so div class row. Okay, within this, I'm gonna copy this. Oops. Okay, and set this to 12. So I set this to 12 because I wanted to span the whole width of the website. So save this. And since this is a different row, this is our first row, our second row will appear somewhere at the bottom. So now it kind of looks like this. So it is kind of separate from the top. So this is a really nice way to format stuff. So you can like try, if you wanna this to have like span 2 columns, you can put this to 6 and 6. And like, see, it's really neat. It's a neat way to format stuff. You can also set the size to like differently, like different sizes, as long as they add up to 12. So 4 and 8 add up to 12. So the first one will take up like 4 boxes, and the other half will take up like 8. So this will be smaller and this will be bigger. So this is how it's gonna look. It's kind of something like this. So like 5 and 7 will work too, or like 6 and 6, like just now. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it like this. So this is also nice for like, let's say you want to put an image in the middle or like at the side. You can just like delete this whole thing and put like image source. Let's search for some puppies. I'm gonna copy the link here, and I'm gonna link it down here. Okay, let's take a look. So now our image, oops, something went wrong. Image source. Let's try another puppy. Let's try this puppy. Oh, copy image address. I copied the wrong thing. Uh, yep. So save this. It should work now. Yeah, no, it does work. So yeah, so it kind of looks like this now. It's still kind of messy. So obviously you still want to format this picture. Now, how do we format it? Because like since we linked the style sheet as a bootstrap here, so the thing is we can add our own style sheet in addition to the bootstrap style sheet. So we just need to link another style sheet. Just, style.css. I haven't made this file yet. I'm gonna make it. So save this. Now I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it outside. So I'm just gonna make it like over here. Style.css. And since it's like at the same level as the index, I just need to say style without the folder directory. So in the style, I can style my image. And so let's say I want my width to be like 100%. Okay, save this, see how it looks. Okay, so yeah, it kind of looks like this. You can adjust the height too and stuff. Yeah, alright, one thing to note is that your style sheet must always be under your Bootstrap style sheet. That is because when the browser reads the HTML, it reads it from the top to the bottom. So it will first read your Bootstrap style and then implement all the Bootstrap styling. And then it will, after it implemented all the styles, it will read your style and like overwrite the Bootstrap style with your style. So it will only overwrite stuff that is like conflicting within these two style sheets. So let's say the color here is supposed to be like purple, but in yours you specify that it is red. It's gonna overwrite the purple with the red. So if you put this style sheet on top, however, it's gonna read your style sheet first and implement your style, and then it's gonna read the Bootstrap style sheet and it's gonna like overwrite your style with the Bootstrap style sheet. So just remember to put the style sheet after the Bootstrap style sheet. Whew, okay, it's tiring. Uh, so basically, this is it actually for Bootstrap. Oh yeah, I forgot something. So there's also a bunch of useful stuff in Bootstrap. So just go to the website right here. So why Bootstrap is so useful is because they have documentation for a bunch of pre-written stuff that you can just copy and paste. So you can just go to like the components. Yeah, let's see. Let's say what I like. Normal use of navbar right here. So this is like a bar on top. So this is how it's gonna look like, navbar. Or maybe you want one with like there's like different kinds of navbars. You can just choose which one you like. So some like this, some are like this with a search bar. So let's say I like this one, right? I can just copy the whole code here. And then use it in my HTML. So I want this to be on top. So gonna format this a bit. Yep. And here is our navbar. So this navbar will only work, this code will only work if you have the Bootstrap style sheet. Without the Bootstrap style sheet, this wouldn't do anything. It will look pretty ugly. So let's save this. So if you refresh it, yep, we have a navbar now on top. So there you go. So it is important to note that you can still style this navbar by like changing the style in your own style sheet. So you can change the color or maybe change the style of the navbar a bit, make the search bar smaller. But there's a bunch of stuff you can look up in the Bootstrap website, like cards. inputs and all this stuff. You can just copy and paste all this code. So that's why Bootstrap is a really useful tool to have in web dev. And basically this is it. It is also you guys shouldn't use Bootstrap as like your only way to style something. It's kind of like a starting point to like so that you don't have to like write all your basic styles from scratch. So you definitely should build on your Bootstrap styles and make your website kind of like more unique, so you don't like use the same style for everything. But other than that, this is all for Bootstrap. Thank you. This is it.